Hello everyone, I'm Matthew.
I'm Chris.
And we are the NOLAnerds here with part 3, the final part of our E3 2015 video game coverage, the top 15 games of E3 2015, hence the 15.
You're right.
First of all, no one can read your horrible handwriting.
That is perfectly fine.
No, Chris, it's super ineligible.
It's
anyway,
fine.
Let's recap the rules.
They can make out the fact that you're hung from this thing.
Ah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, I hate you so fucking much.
So, Chris, recap the rules.
It's something dumb about... Okay, first of all, it has to have gameplay footage at E3. Oh my god, sorry, just getting all over
No
the place.
CG trailers.
No CG trailers. Has to be maintained at one of the 7 conferences of old.
No Metal Gear Solid 5, no Mad Max, and the CG trailer thing precludes games like, or excludes games. That's what I was looking for. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Shenmue 3, etc., etc. If you want to recap, please check out parts 1 and 2, or I guess they would be said, I don't know, somewhere. But that is neither here nor there. Let us jump right into the top 5 games chosen by Chris and I of E3 2015. Chris, what's number 5?
You almost sound like you said EV 2015, like it was a new Pokemon.
Oh, I bet it would be one.
Okay, so let's wrap out Star Wars Battlefront.
That game. All right, full disclosure, I'm a giant nerd. That's fact.
That's not disclosure.
Not that big a Star Wars fan.
That's more disclosure.
That said, Star Wars Battlefront makes me want to play it so bad. It looks so much fun, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And we got 2 demos.
So I'm on the other side of this, because I love Star Wars.
You do?
And I like most Star Wars games, but I did not care for Battlefront. So
the originals?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 1 and 2. So this new one they showed off that's super gorgeous, it sounds great, it looks great. Even though the first demo took place on the Battle of Hoth, which is the single most played out level in Star Wars history, it even managed to make that look kind of fresh and fun. So, huge props to them for that.
I think it really is benefiting them for being made by DICE, the Battlefield/Mirror's
Frostbite Engine.
Dude, Frostbite Engine is legit.
Frostbite Engine was announced like 7 games, and
if
it looks great.
Took a shot every time they mentioned Frostbite Engine at EA's conference, you'd be dead before Pele bored you to death. But Star Wars Battlefront was so cool looking, and then they appeared again at Sony's conference with a different demo
on
Tatooine, or some sand-looking planet.
It's only the one,
and looked just as fun. Like, it wasn't a trick. Hoth wasn't the magic. When they're that confident to show you 2 different demos, they're like, yeah, our game's fun. Suck it. Number 4 surprises me that I didn't fight for it to be number 1.
That surprises me too, but you know.
But that should just go to show number 1 being a big deal. But number 4 is Uncharted. Yeah, that's why, because it's 4. Uncharted 4. That's the reason. A Thief's End ended the Sony show with an amazing demo that showed the more open worldness of it. Not a true open world game because it's Uncharted. It's a story-driven linear game, but the demo they showed at PSX last year where he was going through the jungle and the verticality and how we guessed that it meant you could go different paths and you weren't just funneled through one hallway. This demo really proved that with the driving and all the different paths you could take. And man, first of all, the game looks gorgeous. All the different physics, like all of your cover can be blown to bits.
That's the most impressive thing about this trailer. Not so much the visuals or the gameplay, because Uncharted's always had those, but the fact that the processing engine can now handle destructible environments and destructible in a believable way, like you said, the sandbags that are slowly deflating as they get more bullets through them, and just punching dudes through bits of wood.
Apparently there was a behind closed doors extended demo of that people can't stop raving about, and all I want to know is like how good I've seen pictures of it. Apparently the mud is Uncharted 4's like 3 head sand, 2 head snow, and 1 head water. Yeah. Mud is the new thing that they're killing.
Mud, their mud animation for the vehicles they were driving looked really well.
Number 3 is a franchise Chris has long since loved, and I have only recently jumped on with the last offering. Why don't you start us off?
Deus Ex Medical Doctor. Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
There we go.
It's good. It looks great.
Wow. Thanks for that one.
No problem.
Hard-hitting news and breakdowns here, folks.
Oh my god, I can just chop you right in the throat. No one would judge me. Deus Ex really came into its own with Human Revolution, and it kind of shocked a lot of people, and it made this traditional PC game that's been very complicated a little more accessible to everyone.
Chris, you know what'll shock people?
What?
Me, when I used the taser in Human Revolution. It was all like, yeah, and they did that. So while Chris sleeps or secretly wishes to kill me, I will talk about that I also love it. And I really wasn't going to jump on board with it originally, but Chris just wouldn't stop talking about how great Deus Ex was, and so I gave it a shot, and I was really happy I did. Human Revolution became one of my favorite new games last generation, and so this one has got me really excited, because I love Adam Jensen. A lot of people online hate him.
Adam Jensen's fine. You know, you look at the grain history of Deus Ex protagonists, they all are not great.
But it doesn't matter.
It's one of those things where the previous game had a lot of good ideas, but you couldn't quite nail it all the way through. And this game looks to rectify those mistakes.
Yep. Very excited. Deus Ex, Medical Doctor.
Medical Doctor.
Now, number 1 and 2, it might be just easier to call it tied for number 1, but we had to choose, and so we did it in the most democratic and time-tested way possible.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Chris, who won Rock, paper, scissors?
1, 2, 3, go. Best 2 out of 3.
And who won?
You won.
So what's number 2?
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 is number 2 because I'm a champion.
Well, you're something. So Fallout 4, we talked about. It's been 7, 8 years since Fallout
2009, I think.
It's been a long
Yeah.
time, and you know we got the teaser trailer and they announced it, and then we got the reveal that it's coming out this year, like in November. So now they had to push everything forward by showing us the opening 10 minutes or so of the game. And while it's very similar to Fallout 3 and New Vegas, it looks like it's taken some of the some new elements like crafting your own stronghold,
Yeah.
and redoing your armor and destructible environments, which are things that the other games should have had but couldn't quite fit in.
It's just another example of how this generation is making games possible that we couldn't do last time. But yeah, I love all the weapon customization. You can get a power armor now and fully customize that. Build your own community. It's kind of like this. What I like, I think the meta game is going to be just rebuilding society. Because you start with just your house, and then you build a community, and then you can create other communities connected by convoys.
And then you have to build defenses and walls and all that. My only concern for it is that this meta game may consume too many people at the expense of the real game.
Well, to be fair, how many people dick around in all the other Fallouts? Story mode is something like you do, and then you just... I like the concept that there's so much to do in this game.
Yeah.
And the crafting system makes all that worthless junk you pick up inevitably in these type of games useful.
Yeah, because usually the Fallout formula, especially with Bethesda, has always been once you hit a certain amount of caps, you become a god king.
Yeah. Fully voice acted, plays a boy or girl, a dog they promised will not be murdered. Dog won't be murdered. That's a first.
Well,
So yeah, Fallout 4 is number 2.
Fallout 2 already came out.
Yeah, but you never played it.
Well, no.
All right, number 1 by default of scissors beating paper is Horizon Zero Dawn, a surprise game from Guerrilla Games Studios, people only known for Killzone. And yet they come out with this open world RPG that combines third-person action combat with some chick in a post-apocalyptic setting fighting robot dinosaurs. And man, what a way to debut a game. No one had seen it or heard of it before, and then it comes out with an all gameplay and in-game engine demo, played on stage for the first time, blows everyone away. I don't know, and I'm happy to say I'm not alone in this feeling. It won several places Game of the Year awards. NeoGAF alone, it swept all 3 awards for most community voted for all 3 categories. I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. I just think it's cool. But yeah, game looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's nice to see them branch out from Killzone games because they were you can just tell they were getting burned out from Shadowfall was just but this game I'm so excited to play, and it's apparently coming out next year as well.
Yeah, it looked it looked like no other game we'd ever seen before.
I love it. It's so good.
Well, we hope it will be, but it looks really good.
So let's recap 5 through 1.
Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront,
Yep.
Uncharted 4, Thief's End, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, Fallout 4, and finally number 1, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm Matthew.
I'm Chris.
Chris, is there any, parting words you'd like to give somebody?
Don't get worked up about games. They're fine. They're just games.
It's supposed to be fun.
Maybe don't yell at your computer.
People can have different opinions.
No.
Like Chris thought Fallout 4 should be number 1, and I
And
disagreed.
I threatened to cut Matt's head off and shove it in a freezer.
Did you?
You haven't gotten that email yet.
Oh, that's awkward. All right. High five.
Squid.
High five.
Kid.
Yes, Splatoon jokes. All right, we're the NOLAnerds, and check out parts 1 and 2, and this was part 3, and check us out on the Twitters and the Facebooks and the YouTubes, but you're already on YouTube because you're watching this. So NOLAnerdcast.com or iTunes for our comic book podcasts and stuff, and yeah, cool, good times.
That's the best you got?
I don't know, you do something better right now. Go.
All right. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.
Ooh.